Welcome to the School of Silly Socks, a place where imagination runs wild and every corner holds a delightful surprise. Have you ever seen a school made of jelly beans? Imagine walking through hallways that look like Candyland. No, well, the School of Silly Socks wasn't made of jelly beans, but it was almost as wacky. The building itself was a masterpiece of quirky architecture, designed to make you smile. It had doors that mooed like cows, greeting you with a friendly moo every time you entered or left. And the windows, they blinked like eyes, giving the school a life of its own, as if it was watching over the students with a playful wink. The slide on the playground was a giant twisty sock. Sliding down it felt like being in a fun, colourful whirlwind. Every day at the School of Silly Socks was an adventure, especially for the students who loved to laugh. From silly science experiments to wacky art projects, there was never a dull moment. The teachers encouraged creativity and fun, making learning an exciting journey. The students couldn't wait to see what silly surprise awaited them each day. It was a place where laughter echoed through the halls and every child felt like they belonged in this magical, whimsical world. The rule of 10 toes. At the School of Silly Socks, there was one very important rule. Always wear silly socks. The sillier, the better. Striped socks, polka-dotted socks, socks with fuzzy caterpillars, anything went. The teachers even wore silly socks. Mrs. Giggles, the art teacher, had socks with rainbows and unicorns. Mr. Noodle, the music teacher, had socks that played musical notes when he wiggled his toes. The Great Sock Switch. One sunny morning, two mischievous students named Timmy and Tammy had a silly idea. They were always up to some kind of playful mischief, and today was no different.
Let's switch everyone's socks while they're busy singing. It'll be hilarious to see their reactions.
Yes, it'll be the silliest prank ever. Imagine the confusion and laughter.
They tiptoed around the classroom, carefully swapping socks. They had to be extra quiet to avoid getting caught. When everyone finished singing, they looked down at their feet in surprise. The room was filled with gasps and giggles. Their socks were all mixed up. Some had stripes, others had polka dots, and some even had funny patterns. Mrs. Giggles had socks with racing cars, which made everyone laugh because she usually wore plain socks. And Mr. Noodle had socks with fluffy kittens. The sight of the usually serious Mr. Noodle in such cute socks was the highlight of the day. The classroom was filled with laughter and joy. Timmy and Tammy's prank had brought a lot of fun and silliness to their day. Even the teachers couldn't help but smile and shake their heads at the playful mischief. It was a day everyone would remember. Giggles galore, the classroom erupted in laughter.
Even Mrs. Giggles and Mr. Noodle couldn't help but chuckle.
Well, Timmy and Tammy, it seems you've outdone yourselves today. But remember, while pranks can be fun, it's important to be respectful of others.
Timmy and Tammy felt a little bit sheepish. They hadn't meant any harm, they just wanted to spread some silliness. To make amends, they helped everyone find their matching socks. Principal Quirkington's big surprise. Later that day, Principal Quirkington, who had a magnificent handlebar moustache and wore a bow tie on his head, made a special announcement.
Attention students, today we're having a silly sock parade.
Everyone cheered. They put on their silliest socks and paraded around the playground, showing off their unique and wacky footwear. Learning with laughter. At the School of Silly Socks, every day is an adventure filled with giggles and grins. The classrooms are always buzzing with excitement as students discover new things in the most joyful ways. As the sun began to set, Principal Quirkington stood at the top of the giant sock slide. With a big smile, he waved to the students below, ready to join in the fun. The playground was a magical place where learning and laughter went hand in hand.
Students of the School of Silly Socks, remember to always embrace the joy of learning. Whether you're solving a tricky math problem or reading a fascinating story, do it with a smile. Your silly socks are a reminder that learning can be fun and full of surprises. When we laugh and have fun, our brains grow bigger and brighter. Laughter helps us remember things better and makes learning a delightful experience. So, let's keep the laughter rolling and the learning growing. So keep those silly socks high and your spirits even higher. Every colourful sock is a badge of honour, showing that you are part of a special place where joy and education meet. Jump, dance, and let your socks fly as high as your dreams.
And so another day ended at the School of Silly Socks, filled with laughter, learning, and of course, the silliest socks imaginable. As the students headed home, their hearts were full of happiness and their minds were brimming with new knowledge. Until tomorrow, when the adventure begins again.